As consumers, we have been offered a wide choice of products and services, and this diversified portfolio has led to some confusion. The confusion is which product or service to choose, which product or service to be preferred over the others which are existing side by side in the market. Apart from this, there has also been a sort of apprehension which arises out of a general inertia when one has to switch from a known product to that which is an unknown one. And it is against this backdrop that we must realize the tremendous impact and influence that advertisement has been having on each of us. Every manufacturer of a product or service has understood the importance of not only the informative, but also the persuasive capabilities of advertisements. And therefore, in India, advertisement as an industry has emerged and is rising as a very big force to reckon with. Now, since we all are exposed to advertisements daily in the print as well as in the electronic media, we thought it would be appropriate to look into the virtues and vices of this industry. Because advertisement today is not confined to some stray occasions or some stray attempts to attract attention, but they have taken a very huge shape in the form which has included slogans, mascots, and the use of celebrities as brand ambassadors. Of course, they have had their own complexities and their related issues, but there is no denying the fact that advertisement today is not a 1 or 2 day affair, but it is taking total of 2 to 3 years or even more in cases of big products and big companies. Therefore, we thought we would be introducing you to this subject, and the insight on this is being given to us by Dr. Rajneesh Jain. It has always been our endeavor to bring to you eminent speakers, and I feel very privileged to have with me today in the studio Dr. Rajneesh Jain. The topic is advertisement campaign planning. So, with this, I will invite Dr. Jain to start his lecture, but before that, let me give you a very quick and brief introduction of Dr. Rajneesh Jain. He is currently the professor at DAVV's Institute of Management Studies. DAVV is, of course, as you know, Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya, and Dr. Rajneesh Jain has been having more than 25 years of experience in the area of management as a teacher, as a corporate trainer, and also as a researcher. Earlier to his current assignment, he was associated with Nirma Institute at Ahmedabad and also at the International Institute of Professional Studies, which is also a part of DAVV Indore. His papers have been published in many national and international journals, and he has also participated in many workshops and seminars across the world, not only in India, but even abroad. He has visited Harvard's and various other institutes like in India and China, including Harvard, Stanford, Kellogg, MIT, Sloan, Houston, California, etc. So, without much ado and without being an obstacle between you and Dr. Jain, I would request you to start the lecture on advertisement campaign planning.
Today in this session, we are going to discuss about advertising campaign planning. Now, advertising campaign planning has become a very important aspect of promotion, marketing, communication, because advertising influence life and minds of people in a variety of ways, and they shape preferences regarding various type of products or services which people buy. Advertising plays a very important role in our life, daily life, in everybody's life, whether they are kids, they are housewives, they are men, women, professionals, everybody. From marketing point of view, it is considered to be one of the most powerful communication tool. In theory, we define advertising as any paid form of non-personal presentation of an organization which talks about products, services or ideas which are promoted by an identified sponsor to inform or persuade target audience. So, this is how we theoretically define advertising. It was important to understand what advertising is so that we know about advertising campaign planning. Now, when we move on to advertising campaign planning, it basically refers to a set of decisions which are taken by any advertiser or any business organization with regard to how their advertising efforts are going to be properly planned, organized and then executed. As a part of advertising campaign planning process, we are able to develop a plan, and this plan help us in executing a number of advertising related efforts. Advertising campaign can be understood as a series of independent, or it can also be a number of interdependent advertisement which are built around a central theme or a main focus, which actually tries to connect all these pieces of advertisement together, and they are created in order to achieve a very clearly defined advertising objective. They are often developed so that we are able to integrate diverse range of advertising efforts. So, at the end of the day, we are able to synchronize all effort and able to synergize their effect. These campaigns may be local, regional, national or international, or they may even be single medium or multimedia campaign. Let us look at two examples. It will help us understand advertising campaigns better, and these campaigns are recently run for MP Tourism and Gujarat Tourism. Let us first look at a campaign which is run by MP Tourism.
ये रंग है रंग है 100 तरह के रंग है रंग है रंग है रंग है 100 तरह के रंग है कान्हा में सैकड़ों शेर दहाड़े हर कोई देखे आंखें फाड़े वो आंखें फाड़े आंखें फाड़े आंखें फाड़े आंखें फाड़े खजुराहो की खामोश मूरत प्यार की कितनी प्यारी सूरत एमपी में आया हर कोई दंग है वो दंग है दंग है वो दंग है मांडू का महल देखने आए जहाज देखा चक्कर खाए सांची में आके स्तूपा देखा शांत होकर हिंसा को फेंका एमपी में आई हर रूह मलंग है मलंग है मलंग है मलंग है ये महाकाल की पूजा दृश्य न कोई दूजा एमपी में आई हर रूह मलंग है.
Now, this campaign of MP Tourism was a single advertising campaign. So, here a single ad was used primarily in television commercial, and it was aimed at promoting it to both international audience as well as national audience. In comparison to MP Tourism, Gujarat Tourism had a series of advertisement instead of having a single ad. So, they had a series of interrelated advertisement, and we are going to watch a few of them right now. Let us have the first ad.
उत्तरायण, धरती का उत्सव, आसमान के सम्मान में। बिल्कुल ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे सूर्य की उपासना है लोग पतंगों के रूप में फूलों का अर्पण कर रहे हो। ये त्योहार, इसमें खुशबू है पतंगों की, आसमान छूती उमंगों की, खुशबू है गुजरात की। यहाँ त्योहार का मजा है हर दिन हर रात में। अरे कुछ दिन तो गुजारो गुजरात में।
Now, this was the first ad of that campaign. So, there are many more ads which are in this campaign. The basic purpose of this campaign was to present different dimensions of rich cultural heritage of Gujarat in different small advertisements which are created for this purpose. So, we can have a look at the second advertisement.
In the lap of the Aravalli Mountains, I stand here today right at the feet of Goddess Amba. जय अम्बे। With chants on their lips and faith in their hearts, it is quite overwhelming to witness these devotees throng the Ambaji temple every day. Breathe in the faith, breathe in the blessings, breathe in a bit of Gujarat.
The beauty of this campaign was that it had advertisement in both Hindi as well as English language, so that it can attract to both international as well as domestic tourists. Most of their advertisement had both English as well as Hindi version. Now let's have a look at another campaign, another advertisement of this series.
नवरात बिना गुजरात कैसा और गुजरात बिना नवरात कैसा। नवरात्रि भक्ति का उत्सव है, शक्ति का उत्सव है, देवी का उत्सव है। ये देखिए, बहनें गरबा कर रही हैं, लगता है जैसे बहुत सी देवियां एक देवी की उपासना कर रही हों। ये त्योहार, इसमें खुशबू है भक्ति की, शक्ति की, मस्ती की, खुशबू है गुजरात की। यहां त्योहार का मजा है हर दिन हर रात में। अरे कुछ दिन तो गुजारो गुजरात में।
As we see these advertisements of MP tourism and Gujarat tourism, we understand that it may be a single advertisement or it may be a number of advertisements, and these advertisements usually represent series of advertising efforts which are built around a central theme. For example, Gujarat advertising campaign was built around the theme of Khushbu Gujarat ki.
Okay.
And MP tourism campaign was built around the incredible heart of India or the heart of incredible India. So the continuity of central theme help any advertising campaign to very effectively communicate its central message to its target audience. Now let's try to look at the process on how this advertising campaign is built. Advertising campaign planning process can be understood as a very clearly defined, systematic and organized way of taking various advertising related decisions. These decisions are based on a very well established 6 M's framework, and these 6 M's refer to market, mission, money, message, media and measurement. Now we are going to deliberate upon each of these 6 M's individually and see that how marketing decisions with regard to these 6 M's are taken. The first M refers to market, which represent target audience. So the first decision is about knowing and understanding about target customer. Second M deals with objectives, that is the mission of the advertising campaign. Third M deals with the money, that represents the total amount of money which is going to be spent as budget of the organization. Fourth M refers to message. Now message is the main heart of advertising campaign, because this is the element which deals with a creative dimension, in which in a creative manner the message is communicated to our target audience. Fifth M deals with media, which represents channel of communication which are used to communicate message in a variety of ways to our target audience. And finally, towards the end, sixth M refers to measurement, because advertisers would like to know whether their advertising efforts have paid or they have not paid in terms of achieving their well defined objectives. Now we are going to look at each one of these M's or each one of these steps of advertising campaign planning in a little detail. Now the first M deals primarily with the target audience. We need to know and understand, for example, if our advertisement is targeted towards children or housewives, male or female elements, or it may be for professionals, or it may be for lower income group or upper income group, we need to know it very well who our target audience is, so that the advertisement can be created accordingly. All the advertisement have a number of elements which may be liked or disliked by a particular group. So, we need to know their complete profile, and this profile can be developed after having complete information about the target audience. This information may relate to demographic information such as age, income, gender, education, family, etc., their socio-cultural background, which part of the country or which part of the world they belong to, their psychographic dimension, which refers to their personality and lifestyle related dimensions, their behavior, their needs and desires. So, when we have a complete understanding of our target, we can have a very clear picture of our target audience profile, and this profile helps us a lot from advertising point of view to develop the right kind of advertising content and choosing the right kind of media for them. In addition to target audience, we also need to know little more about the organization for which the advertising campaign is created, in terms of what kind of business they are in, what kind of products they deal with, what kind of brands they have, what is their image in the market, and what are other elements. In addition to this, we should also know about who our competitors are, because we are operating in a competitive market. Therefore, we need to know what kind of promotional efforts or advertising campaigns are being run by them, competitors. In addition to that, there may be a number of other factors which are likely to influence advertising campaign at a particular point of time. It may relate to very high level of demand or a low level of demand, such as recessionary condition or economic condition of the country. It may be a particular season, a particular festival. It may be natural environment or technological environment factor. So, there can be a number of various types of environmental factors which are also likely to influence ad campaign.
These are external to the company.
These are external to the company. These are context related factors. We need to consider all these factors along with knowing and understanding about our target audience, so that when we are taking other decisions regarding defining advertising objective, etc., we are very clear in terms of what we are going to do and for whom we are going to do this. Second decisions.
One second. When we talk about gathering this information, particularly about the demographic profile of those we are going to approach, the target audience, is it done by the advertiser, I mean the company which is coming up with the product, or is it usually being outsourced to somebody else? This task of finding out about the consumers, about the target audience.
This is in fact done by a couple of different parties. In this case, advertiser, that is the organization for whom campaign is being developed, organization itself provide a large amount of information about their customers and about their products and brands, their positioning. In addition to that, a number of marketing research agencies are there who provide us professional information. Along with that, advertising agencies, they do have their own in-house research agencies. So, they collect a number of a large amount of information from the market with the help of various sources. So, that is how the complete research input is collected and help advertiser in designing the right kind of campaign.
Right.
Now, the second set of decisions, they deal with defining the objective for which the ad campaign is going to be created. With this kind of research input, as Professor Roy you rightly said, that when information is collected from variety of sources, this information help us in knowing exactly what is required at the present point of time. And this defining objective help us in focusing all the advertising efforts, coordinating various elements, and it also help us in towards the end measuring advertising efforts and controlling them. It can be used, advertisement objective can be used for a variety of purposes. And when we define advertising objective, we also feel that they should be very specific, they should be measurable, they should be attainable, realistic, and they need to be achieved within a specified time frame. There is a very popular approach which is used in both theory as well as in practice. This approach was given by Russell H. Coley, popularly known as DAGMAR. DAGMAR is an acronym for defining advertising goals for measuring advertising results. In DAGMAR approach, Russell Coley proposed that advertising needs to move through 4 basic stages. The first stage is awareness, second stage is comprehension, third stage is conviction, fourth stage is action. And these 4 stages through which any advertising moves help us in defining advertising objective in a similar manner. For example, we can define advertising objective as what should be the level of awareness, or what should be the level of comprehension, whether we want our advertisement objectives to be very clearly quantitatively defined in terms of that advertising objective should lead to achievement of certain amount of sales, or they are defined in terms of some kind of qualitative dimension, for example changing consumer attitudes or changing their perceptions or changing their behavior, or they may even relate to current customers, whether we want to retain current customers, increase loyalty. So, with the help of Dagmar approach, we can have a number of ways in which advertising objectives can be defined. But the caution here which is to be taken is they need to be very clear, preferably quantifiable, so that towards the end of the campaign we are able to see whether our advertising efforts have actually helped us in achieving them or not.
Because I think as far as commercial advertising is concerned, whatever be the aim initially, like change in the perception or anything else, ultimately I think it will need to be translated into increased sales. So, that is why I think this caution is there that it should be quantifiable ultimately.
Yes, very much. And advertisers are more interested because their huge amount of money is involved. And it is often said in advertising world that each rupee or penny spent in advertising must yield certain amount of result, either in terms of image building or in terms of sales. And that is why advertisers are highly concerned about what kind of efforts are going to be made, so that their advertising basically ends up in giving certain amount of result and they are able to quantify and measure it.